Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And today I'm gonna tell you about my top 3 favorite wheels ever. So, let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way. And all of those wheels I have actually tried, and I have ridden those, and several of those I have actually owned for a long time. And for those wheels who didn't make the list, well, maybe they did not make it for a reason. With that said, if you want to get any of those top 3 wheels or any other wheel in Europe, feel free to check out my eWheel, links down below. They are the sponsor of this channel, and if you use the coupon code WRONGWAY, you will get an additional 5% discount, and I'll also receive a kickback from these orders. Alright, with that said, what even is a favorite wheel? So for this video, well, actually I want to make it because I am not really able to ride a lot right now because my foot is broken. So I thought, hey, maybe let's make a simple video. A lot of you guys are asking me, hey, which wheel should I buy? What's the best wheel? What's the only wheel you want to have for the rest of your life? So I guess maybe that's a content that you're interested in. So let me know in the comments if that is actually the case. So for this video, there's a top 3, and those wheels are basically the wheels I had the nicest experience in total with. So those are the wheels that did not break. Those wheels are the wheels that are fairly easy to work on. And those are also some of the most satisfying wheels, and the wheels that allowed me to do a lot of stuff that I enjoy doing. So yeah, even though some wheels might be awesome fun for, the short term, like I know, I enjoyed my Big Oat Blitz a lot. Well, if it breaks, it's not really fun anymore. So yeah, with that said, let's get on to number 3. So number 3 on this list is none other than the NOSFET Aero. It's a pretty new wheel on the market, but people love it, myself included. It's not that heavy as other suspension wheels at around 23-24 kilograms. It has amazing performance. It can go up 45-degree inclines, 40-degree inclines. It's actually quite impressive what it can do. Top speed of around 50 kilometers an hour, but I typically ride it between 30 to 40 kilometers an hour. And the maximum range, well, probably around 50 to 60 kilometers, which is quite, a lot if you just want to get around the city. Now, is it a long-range wheel? No, but it's a great package, and on top of that, it's very durable. It's made out of a magnesium alloy, so it can survive quite the tumble, and all of the features on it are also very decent. Good front light, good tail light, a relatively quick charger, quick charging possibilities, a good trolley handle, a very good suspension. Well, one thing that I could definitely see as a con in this wheel, the stock pedals. I don't like them a lot. Just get some nylon off pedals. You can use my coupon code for those too. Well, the stock pedals I don't really like them. That's definitely a con on this wheel, but hey, you can change them at least. It has a great display, a nice tire, a powerful motor. Like, what is there more to ask? Well, actually, there is something more to ask. The side panels of it. Oh, maybe they look nice, but you do need a fairing plate, which is sort of like a panel on the side to mount your pads properly. A company I also work with, Grizzly, sells 3D printed accessories that sort of fill in the nooks and crannies of this wheel. You do need that if you want to ride this wheel in some sort of more performance manner. But with that said, this wheel is a joy to ride. People learn on it quickly. It's expensive, but not hyper expensive, I would say. It retains the value, and I've let so many people ride this wheel and they all enjoy it. I can ride it off-road, I can ride it on the street, do groceries with it, pick it up. It's also not too big, not too heavy, and you can still do jumps on the pump track with it. So yeah, check out my Instagram or other videos on my channel to see how I ride the NOSFET Aero. But yeah, definitely well-deserved number 3 on the list. So for number 2 on the podium, maybe it will be a controversial choice, I don't know, but I absolutely adore the Kingsong 14D. This is a wheel which has been for forever out on the market, but happily now with the Kingsong 14D Pro, which is also available at my eWheel, we finally get a smart BMS. So we have the tech to actually, check if the batteries are all right, and it's a bit more advanced than the original 14D. Sadly, it still doesn't have a hollow bore motor, so this is not a wheel that you can, do tricks on. I mean, by that I mean like going downstairs, making big drops. Like you can make some, one-legged riding, you can do some minor tricks on it, but nothing that actually has a lot of impact. So, Kingsong 14D. I never had issues with it, as far as I remember. No, I actually didn't. I had, I believe, 5 of those or even 6 of those, and that is not because they were breaking. No, actually I was, using those, and then someone would want to try to ride on a wheel, and I would maybe send them a wheel or let them try mine, and then I would sell it for cheap because they're friends, and then I would buy a new one half a year or a year later. So I have one actually right now also at home with 14D Pro, so I'll make a video about it. But this wheel is light. It's around 12 kilograms, top speed 30 or 35 even kilometers an hour with the Pro, range of about 25, 30 kilometers, depends on how much you push it, and a charging time of 3 to 4 hours with the old one, and the new one has even some quick charging, so 2 hours for a full charge or even below is pretty awesome. But the weight is really what makes this wheel awesome, and the form factor. It's narrow, it's small, it has a small tire. It's not the best for the heavy riders. It's not a super durable, off-road wheel, but it gets the job done. When it comes to features, the trolley handle is amazing, also doubles as a lift handle, so if you come to a stop, you just need to pick up the wheel and you're done. You don't need to press any button like you would have to do on the Nosfet Aero, for example. It's just so convenient to just get around the city with this wheel, throw it into the car, go up 2-3 flights of stairs. It's not a big deal with the Kingsong 14D. Now, it is not perfect. I would say that the biggest downsides of the 14D is that the shell is maybe not as robust as the new magnesium wheels. I told about the axle, and the lighting is okay, but nothing to write home about. And I definitely would like to see a new updated version of this wheel, just a bit more durable. We don't need all of the lighting. We don't need Bluetooth speakers, as far as I'm concerned. It's nice to have them, but not a necessity. I would love to see an update of this wheel, but in this class, for me, the 14D is pure love, and I love that wheel, and definitely it deserves the number 2 spot on this list. I mean, yeah, some people would probably prefer the 16S, but 14D is just love 14D. Now, before we get to number 1, I have 2 subjects to cover. Subject number 1 is honorable mentions. And honorable mention number 1 is gotta be the Bigode Extreme. Now, Bigode, I can't put them on the list here, sadly, because of their quality issues, and maybe their wheels are sometimes cheap and you can get them cheap, but then you're left with issues that you need to deal with over an extended period of time. Even for myself, I got a Bigode Falcon at some point. I had to wait a year to get everything fixed, and that was very, very frustrating. But with that said, when I had the Bigode Extreme, I think that was the best wheel by Bigode. It's so good for off-roading, it's such a nice all-around package, and it's actually also nice to work on with all the big screws. And I'm sure that Chance Hines, who was part of the team for Bigode at that time, well, maybe part of the team, but he was developing the wheel with them, made a huge contribution to making this wheel awesome. Did it break? Yes, the stanchions broke from the suspension at some point, but apart from that, I made some great memories with this wheel, made some huge jumps, and it survived a lot with me. So that wheel was awesome, but because of quality issues and some problems I had with this wheel, I couldn't make the list. And honorable mention number 2, the Liebherr Kim Veteran Sherman lineup. So the first OG Shermans, or the Sherman Maxes, the wheels with a plastic shell and like a metal roll cage around them and no suspension. I have so many great memories with this wheel, with those wheels. They were still light for what they offer, around 32, 35 kilograms, and 34 kilograms maybe, the Sherman OG. And I think 38 or 9, the Max. And those wheels were just very portable for what they offer with the range. Were amazing to ride, low center of gravity, but would I buy one today? Due to nostalgia, I just look at them every once in a while on portals, and maybe I get a used one, but then I'm like, nah, I mean, the shell is still plastic, and the technology is still, not as good as it is today with the safety of those wheels and the performance. So I would love to see a new version of this wheel in the shape of, the new Lynxes or Patents, just without suspension. But yeah, the old one, I just wouldn't get it. So that's why it's an honorable mention. And I want to add something more before number 1. So what are the wheels that didn't make the list? Why is there no InMotion wheel on the list? Spoilers for number 1, by the way. Well, I had the V14, awesome wheel, but some issues with it in terms of suspension, and most importantly, it just didn't have enough range. Like, that wheel was very underwhelming when it comes to range. V13, I love to ride that wheel, but the suspension was just, nah. I liked it more without suspension than with, and that says something. And you're not even able to buy it without suspension at this point. V12, well, that wheel, it just ran away from underneath my feet, and that was terrifying, and that left a permanent scar and PTSD for the V12. So even though many people are loving it and it's fine for them, for me, it's no. I can't put it on the list, and it also doesn't have the strongest axle. V12S, well, maybe that wheel is expensive, but it can't do a damn thing. Like, that wheel is so underwhelming. I'm yet to make a video about it after using it for a longer time, but no. It doesn't even deserve a top 20, I guess. The V11, I had 2 InMotion V11s, and let me tell you, working on those things, absolute nightmare. Screws are stripping, bolts are breaking, and to change a tire, you need pretty much a university degree to just, change a tire. And the suspension, nothing to write home about. And maybe the balance was awesome on it and the form factor and the features, but no. V10, I broke that wheel, broke a pedal, broke a motherboard, couldn't make it on the list. V9, it's awesome, but I don't think it will survive a long time. V8, I broke that wheel. V5, that was actually my first wheel I ever purchased, and that broke like 3 times, so no. P6 is probably something that you're wondering about. I rode that wheel, but I never had it for a longer time, so I can't really, recommend it here because I didn't have as much experience with it as I had with some other wheels. And with that said, it's awesome for the track and like acceleration, but I'm usually up for something lighter and something I can do more stuff with. So yeah, no InMotion on this list, and also no Performance King songs on this list because they also just break so often. So yeah. With that said, let's get to number 1. And number 1 on this list, and I guess a lot of people will agree with me, well, let me know if you agree in the comments, and that is the Librachem Lynx, or even the newer one, the Librachem Lynx S. And yeah, in terms of riding, I like the Librachem Lynx S a lot more than the old one. But to just group them both together because they're quite similar in how they're built, and I will say most experiences from the Lynx because I just made like 500 kilometers on the Lynx S, and with the Lynxes I did 6, 8, maybe 9,000 if I combine more wheels. But with that said, the Lynx, it just has it all. Like, it's an expensive wheel and it's sort of like a dirt bike replacement, but I gotta tell you, the performance is there up to, 90 kilometers an hour, insane fast, and that means that you can, usually push it 60, 70 kilometers an hour, no issue, if you ever want to do that for some reason. The range is usually around 100 kilometers, which is awesome. So you can have more, but you don't really need it all that often unless you do just long rides. And the torque is just there. It's amazing. Now, when it comes to features, the original light wasn't the best one. They fixed it with the S. The original pedals weren't the best ones. They fixed it with the S. And the taillight's awesome. The trolley handle is still a bit wobbly, but it does the job well. The screen is amazing. We know and love it. And the suspension also works terrifyingly well as well. Now, are there any drawbacks to this wheel? Yeah, of course. Like, it doesn't feel as responsive as Bigode wheels. And the software, like the riding software, is still lacking, in my opinion. Can you ride it across the city, no issues? Absolutely. But once you get to the sort of performance side of things, I just don't like how much the pedals dip. And I don't like when this wheel, well, I was trying to make a huge jump somewhere, which was, very unreasonable. And then the pedals dipped into the front and I just made a front flip and almost died. So that was quite unfavorable. So the software, especially for jumps, it's good, but you need to know it, and you can risk a lot by doing something wrong. And that is something I don't like about those wheels. And again, when it comes to riding software, you can get around it, you can get used to it, but it might be not as satisfying as some other products on the market. With that said, the reliability of this wheel, man, those wheels can survive like a beating. Their drop resistance is like off the charts. And mine, I never had issues with any water ingress, with rainy riding. Hell, my friend's links even fell into the Mediterranean Sea for a second, and we got it out and like no issues. Now, of course, if you had issues, type them in the comments, but my experience with this wheel was just, you know, amazing. So yeah, I think the number one is well deserved. That's not to say that Librakim can just like, you know, say, oh, we've done everything is perfect. No, they definitely need to work on their software, make the electronics a bit better, make the ride a bit more satisfying. But yeah, compared to everything else on the market, like this is a clear number one. And it's also very simple to use. Like you just have the screen. You don't even need a smartphone to use it. Like with the P6, you need to activate it with your smartphone. You have to have an app, you need to log in, and then the wheel is also connected to 4G. So do I prefer to just have an on switch, a simple screen, no touch screen and buttons and everything readable in one spot? Hell yeah. So yeah. I hope you liked this video. There's plenty more wheels to talk about. I mean, there's amazing other wheels too. Let me know in the comments which one you would put on the list. But for me, those are the top 3 wheels. And if you're still here, then leave a like on the video. Subscribe to see more content like this. And I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.